Hello, everyone. I'm Dan.
And I'm Riley.
And welcome to the next episode of That One Podcast.
We have an awesome interview today. It is Pork Festival week here in Tipton.
Kebabs.
Pork kebabs are on the menu. That's both of Dan and I's favorite menu item for Pork Festival. But we had a great conversation with Heath Moreland, who is the vice president on the Pork Festival board. And we talk about all things happening at this year's Pork Festival, what to look forward to, and even some hints at future updates and what could be coming to the Pork Festival down the road. So let's all get excited for the Pork Festival and tune into this great conversation with Heath. All right, Heath, welcome on to That One Podcast. Excited to talk all things Pork Festival with you today.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we've done another podcast, or I've seen you, worked with you on another podcast, and you're always a great time to chat with. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation and seeing what the Pork Festival is all about in 2025. But before we dive into this year's festival, can you just share a little bit about yourself and how you first got involved with the Pork Festival?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a 52-year Tiptonian.
Nice.
So, and then on top of that, I grew up about a block away from the Pork Festival. So, my parents still live in the 300 block of South in Independence Street. So to this day, that's where they are.
Yeah.
So I have experienced not being able to get home because we're all cut off. I've experienced people parking in our yard. I've experienced people parking in our driveway. I mean, anything you could feel with Pork Festival, I've experienced it.
Yeah.
So, but as far as how I got involved, it actually happened a few years ago. A longtime friend, Jim Hurd. I've known him. He actually worked with my dad years ago.
Okay.
So they had some changeover and they needed help getting a PA system for the headquarters tent. And so like, hey, you kind of know audio. You've helped us here and there, for bowling stuff. And would you come up and kind of help us get this PA system going? And next thing you know, I'm wiring. They've gone from 2 speakers to now I'm wiring in 6 speakers deeper into the Pork Festival footprint. And then it's, well, hey, the person that's booking entertainment, they're actually kind of retiring. They've done it for several years. Yeah. You used to play in a band. Why don't you help us do entertainment? And I'm like, nope, nope. And then next thing you know, I was helping doing entertainment.
Yeah.
So I think officially this is only like my 5th or 6th. I think it's my 6th year.
Okay.
So this will be 2025. So actually 5th year. So I got to come in right as COVID was happening. And that was also on the heels of, I want to say 2018, 2019. That was the year where they had 3 days back to back to back of just rain. Yeah. It was horrible. So I got to come into a pretty desperate, maybe not desperate.
Yeah.
I got to come into a festival that was dotting every I, crossing every T. But that's probably way more than what you wanted for the original question. But
good to know. We were just talking beforehand about when the first one was, and it was 1969. So you've been around it for almost its entire existence.
Yeah. And as a kid, you go out on the front porch and you can see the glow of everything. Mm-hmm. If the wind is just right, you can smell everything.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of years, you go out on Saturday morning and the car show was basically at your front door.
Wow.
So from the jump, like Pork Festival had me.
Yeah. So what keeps you coming back year after year? This is your 6th or 7th year.
Yeah.
What keeps you, now that you grew up with it, you've been around it for 50 plus years, but what keeps you coming back to being involved? And now you're officially vice president on the board, so Correct. You keep even moving up.
Yeah. I think the big thing is, I love Tipton. I love being from Tipton. We've got a great thing going on here. It's also really cool to go around the state and say, I'm from Tipton.
Yeah.
And generally when you do that, it's one of two, maybe three things. They'll say, oh, Pork Festival, or back in the day it was, oh, Pizza Shack, or, oh, there's that old theater that's on the corner you guys got. It's like, and so so being prideful in my love for Tipton, when the opportunity came to be a part of something that everybody knows your little town for. And there was also that need, as people that had done it for 20 plus years really wanted to step away. It's like, this thing's got to keep going. I played in bands all those years, and now I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to be like, nope. Yeah. So it's just continuing to put on something that Tipton is known for, but then also when the festival's happening, to see people enjoying something that you've helped create, that is just amazing.
Yeah. We're talking Pork Festival, and I guess we should clear the air and explain. A lot of people that are listening are from Tipton know what the Pork Festival is. But for people who might not be from Tipton, who see this or listen to it, or just haven't heard of it at all, can you explain the Pork Festival, what it is, what's the big hype behind it?
Sure. So what I would call the Tipton County Pork Festival, it is an old school, small city, but small town America street festival. It is big food, big family fun, big family safe, free concerts. It did start based around Tipton's farm community with the Indiana pork producers. That's kind of where it got its start. But now you can get a pork chop on a stick. You could get a slow roasted pork chop. You could get pulled pork barbecue. You can get pork egg rolls. There's a vendor that's been here for years that does like pork kebabs and stuff like that. Those are
my favorite things. If you weren't mentioning those, I had to make a plug for it.
It's like a staple. Yeah, absolutely. So,
Dan's off camera. I don't know if you can hear or see him, but that's Dan's favorite too. So.
Yeah, just there's so much tradition that goes with it, and there's stuff for the entire family to do. It's if you like shoulder to shoulder crowds, Saturday Court Street, man, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
But there's enough food vendors around our beautiful courthouse that you can still go get great food and not be in the hustle bustle of Court Street.
Yeah. Madison Street has vendors.
Forever, unfortunately, that food vendor has passed on, but there used to be a hot Wisconsin cheese vendor. And he had mozzarella, and they weren't sticks. They called them fingers. But they were like 5 or 6 inch mozzarella fingers. And he had his marinara sauce. And, 9 o'clock at night, I would slip around the edge, park in a spot I wasn't supposed to, go grab more mozzarella fingers, then go back home for the night.
Yeah. It's some of the best food.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to try everything almost. So.
Yeah. And the last few years that I haven't, I think I'm too big for them, but they've got these things called like the water balls. I guess the kids love them.
Oh yeah.
So there's some sort of a water ball thing. I don't know if they get in them or if they spray them at each other, but like we were threatened, if you don't bring them back, we're not coming.
Wow.
So yeah.
I didn't know they were that big.
Yeah.
But, hey,
so yeah.
Kids love it. And, I think that might be part of why it's such a good tradition, is that it is something to do for the entire family. Yeah. Do you think there's anything else that kind of contributes in why it's been such a lasting event or made such an impact in our community?
Well, I mean, because you're right. It for it to last 56 years, it has to be quality. Mm-hmm. And that is a testament to all the people way before me. And the Pork Festival has ran its kind of it's evolved. For a while, Bob and Tom was here. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when the Queen contest and the entertainment was literally on the front stage, on the front steps of the courthouse. Wow. They would get dressed in the courthouse and step through the front door to do their whole thing. I can remember Haywood Banks, who was big on Bob and Tom, before Bob and Tom ever got here, doing his whole comedy skit. Would you look at this? And holding a sign that says this on it great big. And so to your question, it's been a lot of years of quality, and it's been a lot of years of people, of volunteers pouring out their hearts and sweat into it to make it that way.
Yeah. So it's been quality for 56 years. Looking ahead to this year, right? The goal is always to make it good every year, make it better, improve on it.
And a little different at the same time.
Yeah. You know, you want people to come back, so it's not just, it's the same old pork festival every year. Looking to this year, what are some of the highlights that people can look forward to?
Well, absolutely. So probably the one that we're most excited about, Jim Hurd worked hard, and because Jim is also a food vendor around, Jim has relationships that the rest of us do not have. Mm-hmm. And so Jim has been working on a guy that has a Midway, Carnival, whatever, for a few years. But rightfully so, he was already contracted and loyal to another festival. Well, it's as timing would have it, we're going to have a brand new carnival this year.
Oh, all right.
Compared to what's been here, and those were good carnivals in years past. Please don't hear that, But at the same time, I have to give the new one its props. It's a step up.
Yeah.
I think it will be noticeable walking past Court Street and so forth. We're really excited for that. The other new thing we do have, with the green space downtown, the plaza, whatever you want to call that, we have added some more vendors and stuff like that in that area.
Okay.
We're still learning how to use the stage that's there. And then, bands wise, we hear people, when it comes to a festival, there's what you want, what you can have, and what you can afford. Those are three different things.
Yeah.
And so, but we've heard people. So we're bringing in a Nashville, Tennessee songwriter by trade, but also performer named John King. Friday night. So he has spent the majority of his life around Nashville, born in the hills of Georgia. But
that gives you credibility, just being in Nashville for that long.
Absolutely.
You have to be good.
And I have loved talking with him, and emailing and everything. Just a genuine good guy. But he's a phenomenal singer, phenomenal songwriter. He has a number one. Now, mind you, I'm not a country fan. Mm-hmm. You'll know that I started booking the bands that I like when it's Metallica and Pantera and all that stuff. So thank you, Dan. Yeah. So, but he's a phenomenal songwriter. He has a writing credit with a guy named Randy Houser. As a number one with a song called "We Went," and then I want to say it's the most recent Hootie and the Blowfish album. He also wrote a song that's on that album.
Oh wow!
So, but he also wants to be a performer, and so we heard Tipton say, "Hey, the tributes are great, but can we get maybe some original stuff back?" Well,
here we go.
This is our attempt.
Yeah. When does he play?
So he's actually Friday night.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have to say, part of that decision was I had the great opportunity to see Vince Gill do a benefit concert at the Ryman in Nashville. Wow. And it's one that he does every fall. And the year that I was there, it seemed like everybody was on tour that year. So like he was having a hard time booking anybody to come play this show. So they made the decision, they went to the studios and they grabbed a bunch of the songwriters and let them play the songs that we know the way that they intended them to be done. Oh. And it was one of the greatest 3-hour concerts I've ever been to in my life. So when John King came around and we were all talking about it as a group, like, listen, I'm not afraid that he's not a known country name. That doesn't scare me one bit. I mean, he is genuine Nashville.
Yeah.
And so we booked him. And then Saturday, we've got some young kids. I think the oldest one in the band is 31.
Okay.
but they love old school Van Halen, like David Lee Roth Van Halen.
All right.
So Saturday night we've got a tribute band called Jump. People may have seen them at Gas City earlier in March. I think they played Noblesville back in June.
Okay.
High energy rock and roll.
Nice. That'll be good for a Saturday night.
Yeah. And if that's not your thing, there's plenty of food. So
always plenty of food.
Always plenty of food.
Just come get dinner at the least.
Yeah, exactly.
To circle back to what you said first about the carnival, where will the carnival be this year? Because I know that's been a big debate and it's moved a couple of times. So where will it officially be?
So the carnival will continue to be predominantly there in the county parking lot between Court Street and Independence Street, with a couple of things over in the parking lot directly south of the courthouse.
Okay.
So that will continue to be there. I don't foresee it recrossing the street back to North Independence anytime soon.
Yeah. Safety, right?
Yeah.
Was that the big decision there?
Yes.
Yeah. Just
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
No, it's more central location too. You don't have to leave, and you can listen to the music. You can step off a ride and go grab a bite from the vendor. It's all
and the
right
pork
there.
chops. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not thin.
Yeah.
And the pork chops are amazing. One of the benefits of being on staff is that I get to eat at least twice a day. So
Nice.
I mean, once a day.
Yeah. Nobody will hold you to it. It's okay.
Right. Right.
Speaking of food, though, obviously there's the staples when we've talked about that. Is there anything new, whether it's a specific vendor or maybe a older vendor who's been here forever but trying something new? I don't know if they divulge that info to you.
Yeah. So, I mean, truthfully, I don't. I try to stay in my lane as best as I can. That's already got enough fingers and hands, right? But Jim Hurd, who helps with the vendors, has told me that yes, we still have your favorite, the pork kebab, the pork kebabs and the egg rolls and all that stuff. The meat and potato people with the mushrooms, they're back. Awesome. So all of your staples that have been coming for years, they're back. We tend to have a few, maybe 4 or 5, somebody that might drop out and somebody new comes in. Yeah. The other thing is that I kind of learned once I joined the festival, there really is an honest effort to not overbook an item. So just because you see on the side of their rig, that's the 5th corn dog thing that I've seen, go up and talk to them, because they might be trying to hone in on a little something different. Yeah. Because we've asked them to do that.
Awesome. No, that's good to know, because you walk by and see 3 pork kebabs or 3 ears of corn or whatever it may be. Give a different one a try this year.
Absolutely.
Maybe. What's your personal favorite part of the festival? Food, music, carnival? Maybe, I don't know.
This is being on staff. There's 2 things for me. And they're almost polar opposites, maybe. I love when the crowd starts to fill in on concert nights. I love to get in behind the crowd somewhere on the north side of Jefferson Street and take in the view of the stage being active, everybody's attention on the stage, the lights of the carnival behind it. And again, I know we're biased, but our courthouse is beautiful. Absolutely. We have a beautiful backdrop for this entire festival. Yeah. It's not some random gray and green brown field. Mm-hmm. We have a beautiful festival. So I love that, to see people engaged. And I mean, that's kind of the way I'm wired anyways. I hate it when I can feel the tension when people are not in it, but when they're together, I can also feel that. Yeah. But on the flip side, when the night's over, because my camper is actually backstage to kind of accommodate bands and stuff like that. I love being backstage, and the piece is starting to fall. You still have the lights of the vendors. You have the hum of the generators. You have the tiredness of the day. that's a really good moment, especially when everything went great.
Yeah. Just the relief. It's almost an excitement. I've done events too. It's like relief that it's over because you're just exhausted from the physical day, but it's also a buzz of excitement knowing you pulled it off. It went well. Everything was great.
Yeah. My feet hurt so bad I can't sleep, but that was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about some of the behind the scenes thing, hosting an event this size is a challenge. What are some things that happen behind the scene that maybe not everybody realizes is even a thing, or that it takes several people to really pull this event off?
Yeah, well, I would start with the amount of hours that the volunteers put in. Keep in mind that we don't have very many paid people with the pork festival. And the paid people tend to be your electricians and stuff like that. Okay. So anybody that's on staff, like a president, a vice president, logistics, all that, even chop cook, that's all volunteer. Wow. Every bit of it. So the amount of volunteer hours, sometimes from a distance before I joined, it felt like it was wash, rinse, repeat. But the amount of hours to get stuff together and the amount of things that change from year to year just to get it moderately looking the same the next year can be daunting. Yeah. I can think of a few years back. Here we are this year. We're a 56-year-old festival. Our ice vendor, for some reason, we fell off of their list. So our usual 2 big old ice cooler chests for us and vendors didn't even show up that year. Wow. But yeah, so anyways, just the amount of hours, the amount of planning, the amount of just checks and balances to make sure everything's going to flow. That's the big thing. And then the other thing is that to be respectful of the businesses downtown, setup day Wednesday, I mean, that's like an old Oklahoma land run. It's a like, bam, go. Yeah. Organized chaos ensues. Yeah. Last year, we kind of, I had no part of it. They instituted a little bit different time frame and how they were going to do setup street by street. Yeah. That seemed to go better. Hopefully that happens again this year. Okay. But yeah. I
was just thinking though, we should get on the top of this building, put a camera and do a time lapse of it.
I'm telling you. Riley, it is organized chaos.
All right.
And all it takes is for one person to show up before the other. And now that fifth vendor's got 24 feet to stuff a 20-foot trailer. Good luck. Now, fortunately, they were smart. We've got the hand jack where we can grab it and move it. And then the other thing is with the electricians, just getting power wired into the grid. I mean, that's a ballet in itself.
And that's a lot of power to think about.
I wouldn't want to stick my hand down in those boxes all day. No. Absolutely not. No. Especially when it's 90 degrees, 72% humidity and sweat's dripping down your fingers. Yeah.
Into an electrical box. Yeah. That's not a recipe for success.
Yeah. And that's why they're paid, not me.
Absolutely. Anything else, behind the scenes people may not think about, or? I mean, what does a day look like in your life as an event organizer who also wants to enjoy the pork festival? What does a day in Heath's life look like during the pork festival?
Well, okay. So now, mind you, my role, I am backstage and on stage with the entertainment. Mm-hmm. I do still install the 6-speaker PA that's around the grounds, and then help with any troubleshooting that occurs with that. The first year we tried to do overhead wires. Mm-hmm. And as food trucks get taller and taller and taller, I think they only got wiped out about 4 times that year. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. So now everything's on the ground. So as you're walking around, if you see those like black and yellow, drop down
speed bumps.
Covers, those are probably audio wires. Yeah. But so it's a lot of putting out fires. Something's not working, something's not right, or somebody just needs a little bit of backup. I will segue quickly. When you hear us say you have no idea, volunteers, how much 1 hour can change things for somebody. Even 1 hour is massive.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's a lot of running around and just putting out small fires, making sure something's ready when it's supposed to be. PA speakers for the parades. The last 2 years, I haven't made my first circle around the festival until Saturday about 9:30 at night.
Wow. You did get your food though, right?
Oh, I always get my food.
Good.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
Yeah, I always get my food.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. So speaking on volunteers though, if somebody's watching this or listening, and they like, oh, Heath's story is very similar to mine. And since I've been here for 50 plus years since the beginning of it, and I want to get involved, how can people get involved? Might be a little too late for this year by the time
I'll take you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Jump's coming Saturday, and I don't know for sure how much gear I'm going to be handling. Half joking, but actually serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, thank you for the question, because we're always asking for help. And probably like most 501c3s, C4s, right? Yeah. But for Pork Festival, just reach out to any of us. Beth Unger is our president. I'm vice president. Jim Hurd has been around. His wife Kathy is our treasurer. Reach out to any of us in person on Facebook. You can go to the Pork Festival webpage, and there's contacts for people. Or we normally announce meetings and just pop into a meeting. And those are typically at City Hall.
Okay.
And again, I just, if you can work one day for 1 hour, massive.
Yeah. Awesome. Looking ahead to the future, I know you're busy last minute planning for this year.
Yeah.
Are there any fun ideas out there that, I don't know, your board, anybody that's kind of proposed to, looking ahead, bring in something new and something fun, again, to kind of just keep it fresh every year?
Absolutely.
And if it's top secret, you don't have to share it.
Well, I'll say it this way.
Okay.
That I haven't been told that anything is top secret. All of our Pork Festival meetings are public.
Okay, fair enough.
So anything we've talked about, I see no reason not to divulge here. But yeah, so again, going back to, there's what you want, what you can get, and what you can afford. So those are three different things. But I mean, just to give you an idea, well, let me answer that two ways. Things that are definitely on the priority list. We want to get the art portion of the Pork Festival back. That is gone simply because we don't have anybody to run it right now. Okay. Now, I've seen some different stories where there's some art things kind of coming to town. Hopefully there's a partnership available that can help us get that back off the ground.
Yeah.
I would love that. There's way too many talented people in this county for that to be gone. Yeah. So there's that. There's also, in the same vein, when it comes to music, we've got that second stage. We're still learning how to use it. Back in the day, there used to be a second stage in the Pizza King parking lot. We really want to get to where there's a stage that's playing music all day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because there's an opportunity, especially Friday morning. There's an opportunity for us to develop that atmosphere by far. And we think getting music going earlier in the day is going to help. The problem is that also comes with a cost.
Yeah.
And so, but I feel, now this is just me speaking, not the board speaking.
Yeah.
I feel there's enough talent in this county and close by. We could do a pretty good local stage and really curb some of that cost, get enough people that have equipment to kind of get that set up without having to go through an actual production engineer.
Yeah.
Now, our main stage, we're lucky. Our production engineer is the same production engineer that does Touchdown Town for the Indianapolis Colts. So if you've been to a Colts event pregame, you're hearing the production of what the Pork Festival is.
It's
it is top notch, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So, anyways, those are the two major focuses. But just to give you an idea of things that have been talked about, we've reached out to the Peru Circus about maybe getting some circus acts on either on Jefferson Street or the grounds of the front lawn of the courthouse. Okay. We've reached out to a professional skateboarder from Michigan to come do demonstrations. All right. So there's little things like that. We've checked into getting a zip line that would cross over. Now there's some insurance stuff that happens there,
but it would be sweet.
But again, it goes back to what you want, what you can afford, and what you can get. But yes,
during a concert on a Saturday night with the sun going down,
I'm telling you,
ziplining next to the courthouse.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are definitely ideas floating. And just because there's ideas coming from the 10 of us, your idea might be perfect.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate.
All right.
Yeah. So
awesome. So to some fun, quick questions to kind of wrap things up. We've talked about a bunch of food. What is your go-to favorite, hands down, pork inspired meal every year?
Oh, well, I know this is cliche because it's our pork tent, but I have to have at least one pork chop out of the food tent every year.
Okay.
I don't think it's an overly dramatic process for that. I think it's fairly simple, but I think it's something about that slow roasting cook, man. It's just, and my mom caters for a living, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but there's just something about it. But I will go back to, we were talked about earlier, the kebabs.
Oh, it's good quality meat and it's so easy to just walk around with. Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's other nights where all I want is that fire roasted grilled piece of corn and some butter. And it's dripping down my beard. It's like, man,
I think I'm satisfied with the pork kebab and 1 ear of corn and like, I'm just happy. That's what those are my go-tos every year.
Absolutely.
You've been around it for 50 plus years now. Do you have a favorite memory, either from growing up over the past 50 years or from your involvement behind the scenes now?
Yeah. Well, so I'll give you two if you don't mind. Growing up, I remember, I can't tell you how many free throws, and I don't even know who even ran that, but they used to shoot free throws, and every year it was either. Do you remember the like plastic pro baseball helmets? They didn't have the ears on, but they were, and I mean, you could get just about anything. And it reached a point where they were putting caps on how many, sorry for the pun. Caps. They were putting caps on how many, baseball helmets you could win. And then the next year it was like mini helmets. And then the next year it was the college hats that had the like 3 stripes on the side of it.
Okay.
I mean, as a kid, just free throw after free throw. It was great. Yeah. Or throwing darts to win mirrors of album covers back when music had it, album covers. Yeah. But yeah, every night we were up there. And only thing I can think of is that maybe we didn't start school yet, but I remember being up there pretty late on Thursday nights. So maybe my parents were working for the Elks. I don't know. Yeah. My memory's not that good. But as far as behind the scenes, probably my greatest memory ever, and this really includes even my own playing career, because I played out with playing drums for 25 years. A couple years ago, we had the local band Second Chance come and play. And the brothers, Carl and Stevie, they weren't born in Tipton, but they lived the majority of their life in Tipton. Yeah. And Stevie had some health issues and played bass for that brother band. Anyways, so Stevie was in a power chair. and still played bass for the band when he could.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. But when he found out that the Pork Festival had booked them to come open up the main stage, I think he called me like 6 times that summer. Just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, and Stevie's like Heath, you don't understand. As a younger man, I told all my friends who were out partying and we were just banging around in the garage, I'm going to play that Pork Festival stage one day. And I can vouch as a local, something about that Pork Festival stage shines bright for those of us that play instruments. I mean, is it a Ruoff? Is it an old school Market Square? No, but it still shines bright. Yeah. And so he called me 6 times that summer, like, you're really going to have us. So the memory is that a couple, his motorized chair wouldn't actually traverse the ramp to get him up and on. So he was going to have to play down beside the stage behind the fence with the rest of his bandmates up jamming. And a couple of his friends, a couple of the guys from the headliner band Crush that night were not having it. So we moved and got his motorized chair up that thing, and he played bass with his brother.
That's awesome.
With his band on that stage. Unfortunately, Stevie passed away just a few months after that.
Wow.
But I've seen some bands hate each other backstage, but to see some guys root for each other and like, no, we're going to do this with an instrument, it's one of my all-time memories ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an incredible story.
It was amazing.
That's what the Pork Festival means to this community.
It is.
I mean, that really does sum it up of the importance and why people love it so much.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, one last question. We've touched on pretty much everything, but if somebody's coming to the Pork Festival for the first time, what is one thing they can't miss?
Oh, man. Because I find myself a little biased because I'm so wired into the music side of it, even before I was on staff.
Yeah.
But we have such a good audio engineer and stage. And it's free. Yeah. And then you've got the acoustics of the buildings downtown. It's just, man, it's a good time.
Yeah. It's up to you. If that's your bias, that's fine.
And we've been graced with really good talent. Yeah. Do we want to get back to paying for the Pam Tillises and stuff like that? We do.
Yeah.
But off camera, I can tell you what those price tags look like.
Yeah.
But yeah. But no, I just the energy when the concerts are going on. But I'll also go back to what I said earlier: family safe, family friendly. Yeah. You can park 4 blocks away and not worry one step about making your way to the festival and back.
Yeah. And if you haven't come, be prepared to park 4 blocks away.
Because the good news is that if you do get into one of the places where people are doing parking, mm-hmm. you know that your money's not going to some parking industry. It's going to support some group raising money for something.
Awesome. Yeah, so definitely come prepared. That'd be a tip for me is be prepared to park a couple blocks away, and that's just part of it. There's not a whole lot of natural downtown parking, and we don't need it for 90% of the year, so it's okay.
Right, yeah. So. And again, you are safe being 4 blocks away. And in this town, there's probably a church about 4 blocks away anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. Very true. But
well, Heath, thank you so much. Pork Festival kicks off tomorrow whenever this goes live. So we're really looking forward to it and really appreciate all the hard work you've put into it, all the volunteers alongside you as well. And thanks for sharing some really awesome stories about it.
Thanks for having me.